I mentioned a little bit that I see my and our departing point in the mission which was given to us by our founding fathers, which I think was quite really is big. It's outsized for our foundation in a way, but it's still unique, because we did a study 2 years ago on philanthropy with a European purpose. So there is only the one and only European Cultural Foundation with this kind of mission. So that's the starting point, and I think working on creating European experiences in whatever way. And now that is a challenge, has been a challenge during COVID, where people couldn't actually meet properly, only digitally. So that, I think, remains a core part of what we do, also with this Erasmus legacy, I think, which is important to the foundation identity. So but one has to be creative in how to do it, and so on. Secondly, the imagining Europe. Imagine Europe, I talked about this also in terms of crisis, to imagine what a situation after a crisis can be, or how to get out of a crisis, how to imagine a better Europe, a better situation, to create hope. I think also relating back to the situation in Ukraine and Russia. I mean, creating also hope for Russia to get out of this hole, because I mean, I think it will be terribly difficult, however the war ends, for Russians to face the future. I mean, it's will be similar to Germany after the Second World War, and so it will be a long process. It won't be easy for them, won't be easy for the other side too, and hopefully we're not going back to how the Europeans dealt with sort of the losers of the war after 1918, but more like how we dealt with the losers after 1945. So, so imagining a future, I think, and creating hope. So with a different, and I'm talking about the clusters and not so much about the programs, because for me, the programs, they are things we do, but we have to evaluate whether they work. If they don't work, then we create other programs. And then the third one of contributing and imagining and pushing for a European public space, which is really public, which is open, which is fair, which is also secure. And I mean that also now in the context of the digital public space and all the fake news, conspiracy theories and propaganda, which we're flooded with. And also the provider of the public the infrastructure is not European, and so on. So there's a lot to do for us and together. But the one key thing for the European Cultural Foundation, it is a foundation with a big mission, with an outsized ego, but with a very small budget, and with a considering that, for example, we talked about Sane, his area is around The Hague, and our area is the whole of Europe, and not only the European Union, but basically going towards Turkey and Russia and so on. So there we have to be clever, but we also have to work on partnerships. And I think that is a good thing, that we are constantly forced to create partnerships to actually achieve our goals. With our budgets and just working on our own, we won't get very far. But with partnerships, we can get very far. And that also pushes us to constantly connect the local and the European, because there are not so many other European foundations. So we mostly work with local and national foundations and partners.